everybody, and welcome Monday. It's Monday. I don't even know what day it is. It's the first day of my vacation, so it's just vacation. So hello, everybody in the chat. And I'm so excited to be here with you today. We're going to do a bit of watercolor, and we have Roxanne behind the badge today. So please give a shout out to Roxanne. And if you guys share this, there's a possibility of a $15 gift card to the shop. And we did just have an amazing release today. So very, very exciting. What a way to start a week, having an amazing release. And you get to do some watercoloring with me today, hopefully. So we're going to look at a few things. We're going to focus on the Exotic Blooms coloring book, as I had mentioned. Hello, everybody. And yes, hello to my dear Saskia. She can't comment, so Anne said hello for her. So hello, my love. All right, so I am going to switch us down because, like I always say, can't recreate this. So we might as well not spend a lot of time on that. Okay, let me see. My other camera was working just a second ago, and now it doesn't want to. Let me see. Oh, goodness. All right. The camera was working. Let's see if we unplug and plug it back in, if that helps us. And go back out. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My camera was working just a second ago. So hold on. There we go. I think it just stopped thinking. You know that moment when you're like thinking of something and then you can't think of what you were thinking of? I think that's what my camera did. So I can totally relate to it. Maybe my camera's on vacation too. So, okay. Got my beautiful watercoloring mug that I got from a dear friend. I snuck this in, Roxanne. You guys know me. Just to wet my watercolors, no big deal. That way I just don't have to stick my brush in there and keep wetting those. Oh, good. I'm glad that other folks' brains don't want to work either. I feel so amongst family, as I always do when I'm here with Altenew. So this is what we're going to do today. And I love that they stepped these up. This was the first one, which was very exciting. But as you can see on the back, there were no, you don't know what you've used or not. And there are 2 boxes. So if you've used them, you can check off what you have used. So they're both cold pressed. This is 100% cotton. This is 50% cotton. I'm more of a 50% cotton kind of gal. That's what I prefer. I prefer the A2 loose sheets that Altenew has over the 9x12. I feel like I can move the color better, but I know that there are other folks that feel like they can move the color better on the 100% cotton. So it's totally a preference. Try them both out. Hello, everybody, as you're coming in. Hello. And I just wanted to show also, we have these really fun sheets, the Whimsical Flower Bunch that you can use with markers, with your colored pencils, and it's not watercolor paper, so I don't know. It's just like Nina, but I think if you went really light with color, you may be able to get away with it. I haven't tried it though, but I just wanted to show these because I love these as well. These are a lot of fun. So just reminding you guys of some of the great products that we have that we don't often use. There's also, if you like this watercoloring book and you're like, wow, I don't watercolor, I like using artist markers. We have a book for that. We have a marker coloring book. And the paper is like any other you've ever had. It is like silk. It is so amazing. I hope someday they'll sell just single sheets of that marker paper. It's amazing. But today we're watercoloring. So as you can see, some of mine are not so great, but I just keep practicing. You get one dark one, one light one, and it's the same thing. So these come on sale. This was the first one again. We're not going to focus on it today. I know I keep showing it, but that's probably my favorite. But I thought we'd try this one today. And we'll go through. So the same thing. You have a light. Well, that's my dark image. I must have painted that one so you can see it missing. Then I have a dark image, and then I have a light image. So you have that solid, nice black line, or you can get the no line coloring effect. So today, I think because of the camera, I think we're going to go ahead and do one that is black lines because it will be easier for you guys to see. But just so you know, if you see this and you're like, oh, that's really neat. But I like the grayscale. I like the no line coloring. Then that is an option within the book for you. So lots of options, lots of pretty ones. And like I said, these are the exotics. These are like you get some lilies. I get that. I think that's the beautiful you. I think that's that one. And these are stamp sets that Altony has that they've just made into these images. So you can see I started working there. I don't usually finish them very often. I usually start working and life pops up. So, oh goodness. I know. I love these coloring books too. So I thought I'd bring them out today. So we're going to use the 24 pan, but as you see, I have the watercolor pencils because you can add some definition and detail to your watercolor with those, or you can add some with the amazing woodless coloring pencils. This coloring on the box, I'll give a little secret away if you don't know it, was done by the amazing Aram Tasneem. She did the coloring that's in this, and here we go, mixtures inside. I can't think. So these as well, because Altenew stuff all combines, is all color coordinated. You can use so many different mediums and have the same colors and coordinate if you want to, or you can change it up and go wild. That's the great thing. You have the option. And who doesn't love a good option? All right, so that's what we're going to do today. I am going to pop my panel down. And I think I was going to put it to my work surface, but I don't often do that. I was looking for I have a little board that I put them on, and both are missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is my Spellbinders, my plate. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to tape it down. I'm not going to come way down because I don't want to do that, and I don't want any tearing, so I'm going to be very careful when I take that off. But just so it's not wiggling around while we're trying to work on it. And I will zoom in for you. Okay, so we've got our water. And I just picked one of my favorite Altenew brushes. This is a number 3. I believe this is from the detail set, which unfortunately is sold out. And then these are 2 that I've picked up along the way. They have super, 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 super fine tips. So I can get into some little tiny areas. So these are detailed, but these are super duper detailed. That one's really super tiny. So sometimes you need that. So we'll get out our colors. So let's get the crowd involvement today, since as you know, my brain and camera are on vacation. What color? One of them I am going to do orange. So what color should we do the other floral? Let's see what you guys have out there for me for colors. I'm going to do my warm and cozy. And I think I'm going to mix it with a little bit of my either cherry blossom or something, or maybe my yellows. You guys know my feelings on yellows. So let me know. Ooh, purple would be pretty. Yes, we got a couple purples. Got a couple of those. All right, so I'm just going to get my watercolor going there. So really, I don't know that it's more important you see this. I mean, I'm just literally picking up color. So I'm not doing anything super duper fancy over there. And Avril, I'm glad you suggested cherry blossom because that's right there. Right there, right there, right there. All right. Yeah, I think we're going to do orange and yellow. And then we need another. So maybe we could mix cherry blossom and shades of purple, maybe. That's an option. So you can go a few ways, and I'll show both. So I'm just going to go in where I think it would be darkest, and we may not finish our watercolor piece today because, as you know, watercolor takes a bit of time. Watercolor is one of those things that I love to do when life gets a little hectic. It's wonderful to come in and do some watercolor. All right, so I guess the pinks, yellows, and will work. So then I'm just going to pull this out, and I may need more water. So this is not my favorite method of doing it. I like putting water down first. So this was where we went direct to paper. I have a bit more of a struggle moving my color when I do it this way. and also having emery fur on there. But that is the way that we can get that. Then I'm going to add some more pigment in where it's darkest. Now, these are not heat embossed, so we don't want to go anywhere near that petal for a bit. I'm going to also try to avoid using my heat tool today, because the heat tool, while a wonderful resource, it does lighten what you've done. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to keep my color as true as I can. Okay, and then you can always take some off with water if you have to, but I'm just trying to blend that out for my petal. So the detail blending tools, the detail watercolor brushes, I apologize. My brain is in vacay mode today. So my boss called me and told me she had a couple things for me to do at 11. I'm like, I'm still on vacation for a week. Saskia says teal. Okay. Yes, emery fur. If we don't have emery fur, this really Bridget Casey card if there's no emery fur. Okay, orange, yellows, and pinks. You may have to remind me of that. Orange, yellows, pinks. Okay. So hopefully we'll get to most of that. All right. So now the other thing I can do, so we'll start, we got orange and yellow, so we'll do some pinks up here. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to put some water down in this petal right here. So this and this, yeah, because we can't really do fast watercolor. So what we may do is we may work on this, and then I have another idea for a technique that we can do with this book that may be fun for you guys. So we'll try that a little bit before this ends. So see these areas right here, that little kind of open mouth kind of thing. That right there is a good place to use super duper tiny brushes. It's always good to put those in there. So now I can kind of drop color in with my water. Yes, the heat tool does, it fades like pretty much anytime you're adding water, like if you do ink smooshing or watercolor, it's going to fade it out. Oh gosh, I picked the same color. Oh my gosh. All right. We will cover it up. Or we're going to have an orange petal. Oh my gosh. All right. Working on the pinks. All right. Let's see what we can do with this. All right. Let's put some of that down there. Some of that in the corner. I got my red down here in the corner. All right. So maybe I couldn't hear you guys yelling, no. So maybe this is going to be a deep red petal, because it's, luckily I went into the water first and it wasn't the full on orange. So, but it is pretty to put the orange and the red together. So we're going to cover up the boo-boo with the reds, and then we can have lighter leaves that are pinkier, but we can also have some deeper, darker leaves. Now, normally this deeper, darker leaf would be under somewhere, but because I had a slight whoops, we're going to have that leaf be darker. Oh, goodness. Yep, I couldn't hear you guys yelling. Yes, teal leaves would be gorgeous. I love orange and teal and pinks and teals together. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right. So then we will move away from the area. And this is why I like to tape it down, because, see, it's working for me. I'm not working for it. So I can move this wherever I want it, so I can get at the leaf that I want to. So I don't have to worry. I don't want to say it because then it's going to happen, but I'm going to do it because I love you all so much. I don't want to put my hand in the wet watercolor, so hopefully that does not occur. I'm hoping so. If we have good vibes out there, I think I can avoid sticking my hand in the wet watercolor, because usually if I mention it, it's going to happen. So I just like to put that dark color in there, and then I'm going to pull it out. And then you build the color. It's a happy accident. Yes, yes. So that's the thing too. You want to build the color. You don't just want to put all the color in at 1 second. So you're going to build it up with layers and, achieve that look that you want. So that's why I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. This will not be done by the time we're done. This would take me probably, honestly, a couple hours because I like to take my time with watercolor. It's one of those de-stressing events that I love of crafting. So it would take me a bit. I will probably finish this in front of the television at some point. So, oh yes, always fun to find a live. So the lives are on Mondays and Thursdays on Facebook, and there's a live on Instagram on Wednesdays. So if you're looking for more live fun, because you never know what we're going to be up to. All right, so then again, you just come in where you think it's darker, and I'm coming into the pigment so I can pull the pigment out. And it usually too depends. Like I was talking about the amount of cotton. So this one is 100%. So what that means is it's toothier than the other one. So I like using this one for like mixed media techniques and that type of stuff because it can take a lot of water. The 50 doesn't take as much water, but to me really feels like a Nina texture. It's pretty smooth, and I feel I can move color a little bit better. So this one I work a bit, I struggle a bit with moving the color. It takes me a bit to get it where I want it. Like I get color on there, but to get it where I like it, and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy with my color. It takes me a hot minute, but that's okay. That's what watercolor is for. And I had a piece that I worked on. It was actually from the original watercolor book. I worked on it for weeks. I almost abandoned it a few times, and I kept sending it to one of my friends, and I kept saying, I don't know, what's it missing? What's it missing? And she's like, it's not missing anything. It's wonderful. Keep going. And so I kept going. And so I'm putting a little bit of yellow in here where the orange is, where it ends. I'm trying not to put too much. So, and that's the beauty of having this, is that I can just wipe it right off in there, and then I can just wipe it down with a wet paper towel later. So I'm going to mix that yellow and orange. And then come back in. And you can always tone down the yellow if you want to, but I think it just emphasizes those lighter areas. So now I'll go back in, and I can add a little bit more of my warm and cozy in here, and it's kind of there. So that's what I would be doing with all of my petals on that one. Okay, so I showing you the flowers, so we'll go through and I'll just show you a leaf too. I just want to show you one of everything, and then we'll keep working on our project here. So if we do the leaves, and I'm splattering water all over the place, I just got to make sure. The other day I had a cloth that had obsidian all over it, and I went to clean something up, and I got obsidian everywhere. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. We so appreciate that. We want to share the crafty love. I love it because I get to share ideas with you guys and get ideas back from you guys, and I love that. So for my leaf right here, I'm going to go where it would be darker. So I'm going to kind of go down the center, and then I'm going to follow out the movement that the designer gave me. And I think that's what's great about these, especially if you have the water brush markers. I've taken these with me. I had to go on a trip with my son. He had a meeting, and it was like 3 hours away. And I was like, well, I'll go for a ride. The Instagram, no, the Instagram is at 2 o'clock on Wednesdays. So Monday and Thursday, we're on Facebook, and we are at 3:30. And on Wednesdays, we are at 2 o'clock on Instagram. And that's usually the lovely Lydia that's on Instagram. All right, so then I'm going to pull this out. The reason I do this, because you may be sitting there saying, why did she do that? Why is she now pulling that out? She just put that in. I do that because it's like with your blending tool. If you come in with too much pigment, and you put too much pigment down in the wrong place and you can't do anything about it. So I come in and I put my watercolor that I'm going to pull out where it would be darker anyways. So if I have a whoops moment, I'm okay because it's in a spot where it's not really going to cause any harm to my overall vision. And that's the thing. This is all your overall vision. You know, I think it would be fun to do a rainbow. Oh, you're welcome, Nancy. Thank you for always joining. We appreciate it. I think it would be fun to do a rainbow, like of stems, leaves, everything. Just everything's a different color of the rainbow. That would be super fun. That would be a project that would take me a bit. But, you know, when you watercolor, for me, I can't rush watercolor. I can't. I have to kind of sit in the watercolor and really enjoy it. It's a fun process. And then if you want to, you could also go in and add. Now my brush is, at this point, it's damp, so it's going to pick up color, but it's going to pick up a lot of color. I'm trying to see. Oh, I have a piece of watercolor paper left over from this weekend. So it's like full seashore color right there. So I'm going to you can put some dots on your leaves if you wanted to add some texture. If that was something that you wanted to do. I feel like, who's that guy? Bob Ross. There we go. I'm channeling my inner Bob Ross and making some trees. Oh, goodness. Okay. So now we'll go back. Let's do the bud because we wanted pinks and yellows. So I think for a pink, let's see what we can. So the other fun part, let's put this to the side for a second. Let's make a color that is really pinky. So I have some old dried up cherry blossom here. So I'm just going to reactivate that. Get that nice and good and go in here. Hi, Helen. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, happy leaves instead of happy trees. Yes. So then I'm going to pull some of and oh, good. My brush was clean enough that I did not put pink in the white. So we're going to pull them. I always stick like red or pink in my white. And all right. So we're going to kind of tone that down some. Just a little. And then I always I just start throwing colors in because why not? So we're going to put a little bit of the yellow in there. All right. So it's toned down some so that it's a lighter pink. A little bit lighter so we can come back in then and we can get water all over the place. You guys know me. I am not a organized crafter, we'll say. I have stuff everywhere. There's water droplets. My lights in my office have orange splatter from this weekend. But I think that means you've had fun, right? Right? Just means you've had fun. So if you want to, you can do a few. You just have to be careful because you don't want them all bleeding together. So it's how comfortable you feel with this. My camera's gone super pixelated. The view I can see, it's okay. Oh, did it go for a second? Maybe it really likes the pink. Oh, my camera, like it's like there's a little somebody living in there going wild in my camera today. All right. And then I'm just going to pull this out with water. That's my favorite way to watercolor is to put my pigment down and kind of pull it out. I do like a little water down. I don't like to soak my paper. It's clear. Oh, good. Yeah, the little guy that lives in my camera maybe he's on vacation too. Maybe everybody's on vacation. And we have our happy leaves. That was so, oh my God, Sherry, that makes my day, the happy leaves. You guys. Oh gosh. Okay. So we'll do like this stem. I wanted to do one of each on the thing so you could kind of see it. Let me know if there's another one that it did get a little bit, that's weird. Maybe it's the internet. I'm not sure because it was showing clear on my end. I don't know. Not sure. Let me know. I'll do the stem, which we're going to do again. We're going to do in the seashore I have kind of just a damp, pixelated when my hand went across. Okay. Well, what I can, if that keeps up, I can move my colors so that I don't reach across, and see if that helps, because I don't want to. Oh, oh yes, courage to watercolor. Yes, it doesn't take a lot of courage. It's just fun. Yeah, everybody here, do we have a lot of watercolor folks in the audience? It's the best advice I can give you about watercolor is don't rush. You don't want to sit down and have, a half an hour to do a piece like this. You really don't. You want to be able to take your time and enjoy the process of what you're doing. Because this, even the best watercolorists out there take some time when they watercolor. You see videos that are fast, but remember, those are quite sped up a lot of times. So I've just put that darker where it's going to be darker. And I'm just pulling that over to the edge, being aware that my leaf is right there. So I don't want to get it too much in there. Yes, and we're watercoloring this weekend and this Saturday. So my Saturday girls that are here, we will be getting out the old watercolors this weekend. So I think stems and leaves are my favorite thing to do. I'm such a silly girl. I do too. I rush a little bit too much as well at times. And I'm like, okay, big fella, we got to slow this down. Like, calm it down. You're okay. This is your downtime. Like, enjoy it. One of my best things of advice is, if you go too fast, is to do this in front of the television at night. Because I find when I don't focus on this, when I'm focused on a couple things, I really embrace the process of watercolor, and I'm not as worried about, oh my God, like that petal, I'm not super stoked with it, but I'm going to work on it. It's nobody really that I know of, no artist that I'm aware of, goes through the first time and everything's perfect. Go through and you get the color down. And, we have a lot of videos on the Alta New channel. I know Aram does a lot of them with watercolor. And I know other artists too, but I always watch Aram. So that's what came to mind. And you see her go through and she puts down her light color, and then she goes back and she works on her flower. So it's not like you go through and everything's done the first time and it's done perfectly. So please don't feel that. Take as much time as you need. If it takes you, like I said, one took me so long because I kept going back and I kept fixing it. And we have a cat walking on wet watercolor here. Put music on. Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing. And I think it mellows you out. And I think you're less critical of what you're doing at that point, which is good, because it's easy to say, oh, I messed up that petal, I'm throwing out the whole piece. And no, please, my loves, please give it some time, sit with it, leave it for a month and come back to it and say, I really like that petal. Because the thing is too, as they dry, they're going to dry a little bit different. So here, I just had too much yellow. I thought I was going to like the yellow. All I do is I come in with some more orange. And, maybe you're out there saying, no, I like the yellow. The yellow is good. I like it. And that's the thing, is it just, as long as you're watercoloring, I just want you to watercolor. I just want you to have fun. Yes, imperfection is beautiful in watercolor. And that's actually what we're going to do next. We're going to do some watercolor smooshing, and we're going to make a piece with this. So this is where we're kind of focused and we're putting it on, I just wanted to show you the process. If you have this book at home, you got to jump around a lot. You can't stay really tight in one area, because what's going to happen is you are going to get, stuff running together. So you're going to be very careful. Also, somebody had asked, hopefully this doesn't mess my camera up. Let me know if it does. Some people have had questions about these. These come and they're wrapped in paper, and you just peel them off, and then they fit. They have little hooks that they fit into. So this is the 24 pan set. These are artist grade. They are the best watercolors that I've worked with. I love them dearly. As you can see, some of my colors have big gullies in them. So I use certain ones more than others. Yeah, and the great thing about these is these are the color families. So like this is Pocket Full of Sunshine, Green Meadows, Fall Harvest, Delectable Delights. So in Pocket Full of Sunshine, you can go from Citrus Burst all the way to Maple Yellow. So you just have to keep applying more color. You build your color as opposed to having all that color at one time. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Don't try to be speedy, because I felt bad when we started this and I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have chosen watercolor because we're not going to finish this piece. It's just not going to happen because, you know, it's watercolor and it takes time. But that's the beauty of it. I'm not being attacked. I have a furry little monster on my desk that's going. She's playing with all its new packaging and she's having fun. So, but you guys all know Emery and how she loves to craft. So, and another thing is too, don't be afraid to change your brush. Remember I mentioned this is Emery's brush. I don't know what I did with my two brushes. Let's see. Oh goodness. Oh, here they are. I put them up high. Yeah, this was a makeup brush. So that's Emery's. Yeah. Emery has to have a brush because she loves round things. So she just loves to help. So I'm switching over to this one. This is just a cheapo brush you can get at a large online retailer. I'll leave it at that. And it's really tiny. So I can get into these tiny places. And I think sometimes too, people start out and they have too big of a brush. And if you do, you're going to get frustrated every time because your watercolor is going to go out of the lines and it's just not going to be good. So I just put some of the color down and I used Crystal Waters, which I have never used before. And now I'm just going to pull that out. And then you can just go back in. If you say, oh, I lost too much of that, I want that deep dark color. You can just go back in and just add that in there. So that is one way, okay, that you guys can do this. I'm going to leave this on here because I will finish this at some point. I will post it when it's done. However, we're going to work on something else. So let's do another something that we can do with this. Say you want a watercolor, but you don't want a watercolor. Now, do you guys know what I mean out there is the question. So let's pick one that I likely would go, oh, I got a watercolor that because there's so many places. Some scare me. I'm going to be honest. I look at some and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm not good enough to watercolor that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of those. So I'm going to take this one here. And then I'm going to, I love poppies. I can't do the poppy one. Let's see. There's got to be another one. All right, we'll do that one because I still have the grayscale ones, but I just want to show you guys some other things that we can do with these. So have some fun. All right, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a really big brush, and I didn't get mine out because I thought we were just going to watercolor. Altenew does have the round brushes is what they're called, and it has a big end like that. Let me see, do I have one that's, there we go. Or is this one? Oh, there it is. There's my Altenew one. It's an 18. So it's just a big fella. So I'm going to, and you could just spray your panel. Okay. Just water. If it's on my desk, it's okay. Now we're going to go rainbow. We're going to go rainbow. We're going to go rainbow. Did you guys know we're going rainbow? Okay. So we need red, orange, yellow, green, teal, purple. Okay. So, sorry, Roxanne, couple right-hand turns, my dear. You're used to me, though. You guys know now. I'm just full of right-hand turns here. All right, so we're just going to take this, and we're going to do our old method. Say you are not inspired to be detail-oriented with your watercolor. Let's go. You can use these for this, too. That's okay. That is okay if you just want to do one of these. So we're going to come in with our orange. We're going to put that over there. And look how vibrant. This is why this is one of my, I love all the Altenew paint sets for different reasons. So I got some red in my yellow. That's okay. I love them all for different reasons. But this is why I love this particular set, is that the vibrancy of the colors is just amazing. All right, so got red, orange, yellow. So we know our tropical forests. So I'm dabbing in there. And look how pretty this is. Just because these are pre-made doesn't mean you don't have to watercolor every single line. You don't have to. These are yours, and they are yours to create with. So we will do this. We will make an abstract background after. Originally, I was going to do ink smushing, but I think we'll do an abstract. Let's do abstract. I like abstract. Rainbows and abstract. So this, I'm going to dedicate this to my fellow rainbow lover, the amazing Terry Kozler. She had put on Instagram the other day, this is the last rainbow, I promise. And I'm like, please no. And she's like, just joking. Ha, ha, ha. We need more rainbows. So I'm going to send this out across the waves to my dear friend, Terry Kozler. Beautiful rainbow for you, my lovely. So see, this, you can do this. It's okay. It is okay to do this with these coloring books. You don't have to color them the way line by line and section by section. No. Let's have some fun. All right, we're going to have some fun now. Let's pick some colors. And if we make brown, I don't care. I love brown as a color. I think brown has a place in this world. So let us pick a color. Anybody shout out a color in the chat, and that's what I'm putting on. We're going to do an abstract piece that we create as a group, because I love creating group pieces with you guys. So any color that you want. If you want to put the actual color family, that's awesome. If you just want to put, well, if you put red, I have a few reds. That's the only thing. I have a few oranges, blues. So I have a few each, But yeah, let's do some green. All right, beautiful. All right, is it okay if we do tropical forest? That's one of my favorites. All right, so we're going to go tropical forest. Oh, we forgot something. If I don't spray this, my paint splotches that, when you drop your ink blending tool, if I do that, it is going to leave a splotch. But if I have some color down there, it's going to move. Okay, so we got our green. I can color, but it's much slower. Yeah, and that's, what? But if you have to go slow, Sarah, slow wins the race. That's the thing. I think in life we want to create that, craft a flower quickly. We want to build a garden together. But I think the beautiful thing is that it's okay if a piece that you're working on takes a lot of time. I know in here, in Taylor, I don't think she minds me saying this, but she had a problem with her hand. She painted a portrait thing with her left hand and framed it, but it took her a bit. But that's okay. That's okay. Time is not a bad thing. And think of it, it's all time you're giving yourself. I can bring out some gold. Okay, we could use the gold spray on here. I can do some splatter. So we had green and purple. What other colors, you guys? What else would you like? What other color should we go with? Hi, from Florida. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm so glad. I would craft with you guys 24 hours. So sand color. Okay, we could do sand. I think fall harvest is kind of a sandy color. So let's do that. I like that one. See, that's kind of a sandy color there. So we'll get really pigmented because I got a lot of water on my brush. Get a lot of water there. Okay. Pinks and blues. Oh, blues, you're speaking my language. Woohoo. All right. Pink, we got the old cherry blossom, which I know Avril is a fan of. So yay. And then also had requests for that. My water is going to be let's see is it pretty? Well, not really. I thought it might be pretty. No, not really. Okay. And blue. I had never used that crystal crystal water. That's what it was. Now, the other thing is you don't have to cover this panel. You know, after we add the blue, this can be your panel, and that's okay. That's okay. So the beautiful thing, and I think one of the best things about Altenew for me, is that they give you products and say, here, this was our vision on how we used it. What are you going to do? That's the question. That's the beautiful question, is what are you going to do with the thing that you get? A red. We can do a red. We'll add the red. We'll do red Cosmos, because that's less pinky and more red. We'll put that up by the purple here. And again, I have no problem creating a brown, because isn't it fun? So especially if you have motor skills and you shy away from these books, now you have, this will help you not shy away from them. So let's take this one and we'll set this one aside, okay, along with our others, and we'll do another one. So now what we could do, let me grab, so Roxy, we are taking a sharp right here. Taking a very sharp right. All right, let's do some teals, because they were on top, and I've heard a lot of teals requested today. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do some ink squooshing. Ink smooshing, ink squooshing. All right, so there we go. Oh, went out for a second. There we go, came back. All right, so I'm going to take this and let's mix them. We'll do this Lydia's favorite color combo here. So we got our Mountain Mist, we got Volcano Lake, and we got Lagoon. And I don't worry about mixing my colors together. It's all right. And then we go wild and we go to Galactic Stream. So it really was a right-hand turn. Oh, we were going to do gold splatters too. Don't let me forget about that. I almost forgot. Almost. My vacation brain is waking up. All right. So here's that. Okay. And then we will take another one. Or here, we can take one. We'll take one out of the watercoloring book. Let's see. These have some big, beautiful images. And see, this was the first one I did with this, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. And then I did another one, and it came out lovely, and I framed it. That was the one that I framed. It's hanging in my office in the other room. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's too hard to choose. All right, maybe I'll stick with the exotic balloons. I can't pick one out of there. I can't. Everyone I look at it like, I want to color that one. All right. No. We leave the paintbrushes alone, little girl. Okay, the ranunculus, I guess. The ranunculus is going to be part of our beautiful color experiment. Okay, I'm going to move the paintbrushes because somebody's trying to eat them. I don't want to mention any names, but you guys know. All right, and if you think this is too much, if you're like, whoa, Nellie, that's a lot of color. Let's see how this reacts. We got a lot of stuff out today. Let's use it. Let's try it. Why not? Why not? Let's have a play, as they say. All right. Ooh, this one might be pretty. Okay. And this I'm just going to dip it. So it's going this way. See how it's oriented this way? This is from the Whimsical Coloring Book. We'll just dip that down because I think I put too much liquid on there. So this is just like sticking a piece of Nina. You got to remember that. So it's not watercolor paper. Okay. So see, look how pretty that came out. So that will be a beautiful card. So we're going to set that aside. And I didn't realize it would soak up that much ink. So we will just put down some more. And I just won't spray it as much this time. I got a little trigger happy with the fine mister. And he's a fine fella. He doesn't, do huge drops. So it was me. I went a little wild. So keep this in mind for any of your Altenew coloring mediums that are already made. If you are like, I want to create, but I don't really want to color. I kind of want to, I don't know, that just, because the main goal, we want you to craft. We want you to make something beautiful and have a wonderful day while you're crafting with your gorgeous supplies. So we have this. So we're just going to place this down in here. Squish that in. Now this is the watercolor paper. This came from the Exotic Blooms. I know I keep going back and forth, but I want to make sure you guys see all these options that we have here for fun, fun, fun. My dad would always say fun, fun. I guess it was so nice, he'd say it twice. All right. So because this is watercolor paper and I didn't put as much water, it's a little bit more textured. I don't know. So let's do it again. Okay. So we're just going to build up that color. And I guess I wanted more. And this is what you're going to find out as you go through this process. Don't give up. If you get to this point and you're like, oh goodness, I like how it spread better on that other paper. I'm not going to do this one. Don't give up on it. Just do it again. Do it again. Just try a little bit more water until it works, because it will work. I promise you, it will work. You will make something gorgeous that you are super duper happy with. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. And that's what I think the secret of today is time, time, time. Because that way you'll get something really pretty. And because I don't want to be teal colored for the rest of the week, I am going to see if I have my tweezers handy. I just saw, right here. Everything's right next to me and I don't know what to do. Do you guys have that? Like it would bite you, but you just don't know. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to drag it off the paper. So it really picks up that ink. So it's very dark now. Oh, and I stuck that through the paper. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. And if you want to build lighter colors, you can build lighter colors. You can also heat this and then go back in. It will dull down your color. So let me show you while we're here. I don't mind. I can always add more color. And I do have a heat tool with 2 settings. So I can do low and I can do high, but I was trying to avoid being teal all week, but apparently you guys will know what I've been doing. I'm very beautiful though. It's a good color and I got a little orange on there. It's a nice color. So it will dye back. And the other thing with your heat tool is if you have spots on your work, it will dry the spots in there as well. So just be careful. You can always fix it. Can always fix it. Never abandon these projects because they can always be saved. Always, always. So as you can see, it was a little bit more vibrant before. It's, kind of dying back. I know, blue kitty toes. I'll know where she's been. She likes to drink the water. And it's like, no. So I assume that Alta New stuff is non-toxic because she drinks it frequently. I do my best to not allow her to drink it, but you guys know out there. Sometimes it doesn't work. So then if you want to, you still have all of this. You could do another piece, or you can just take, this is just a plain piece of white cardstock. And I'm just going to flop down in there. And then, you've got kind of a cool abstract-y kind of looking background from that as well. Now, you also, more options, you can paint with your inks. We have a few seconds, so let me just show you. If you wanted to, all you would do, just put some of my Galactic Stream down. I'll bring back my brushes that I had to hide because somebody loves them dearly. Okay, and then I'm just going to spray this. Okay, so I got my water. I got my little, oh no, I got splatter on it. Oh, we were going to splatter. Don't let me forget the splatter, my lovelies. I'll pull out the gold stuff and we'll splatter. So this is just my ink pad. Okay, and then I can come in over here. Well, all right, we'll abandon. I can do the other one that's in my book. This was kind of to show you guys techniques today, more so. But so you can come in with your ink. So this is just from your ink pad. Say you don't have any watercolors. And you're like, I don't know if I like watercoloring. So I haven't decided to invest in it yet, but I want to try it. Take out your ink pads, any of your colors you have with Alta New, except the pigment ones. No, I wouldn't do, but like I wouldn't paint with obsidian. But this is just my ink pad that I'm using. And again, I can go back in and build up that color around that petal right there. Let's see, move that up for you. So see, that's just my ink. That's my ink pad. That's all it is. Who is linking today? I'm not sure who's linking today. Roxanne is behind the badge today. If that's the question, I'm not sure what the word linking means. Oh, Sherry, I would love to tell you to keep going anytime. I have to admit, there's a lady here. I'm going to say Helen. Every time I hot foil, she's in my head. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, yes, Sarah, that's Roxanne today. She's behind the badge. Every time I hot foil, I can hear Helen in my head to put the pretty side down. She told me that. So I do have, some of you guys in my head when I create projects telling me, to keep going, to not give up, to, do that this way. Another thing you can do. Oh, you're so welcome, Sarah. I'm so happy. And I'm so happy you joined us. Even if you guys join us for 5 minutes, we're just happy you're here. So even if you have just 5 minutes, pop in and say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Another thing you can do is paint with the cat toes. Just kidding. Kind of. She likes to do that. So you could come in on one of these, and I'll do it on the light one of this. Okay. That. All right. So you could come in, and you don't have to paint within the lines. You can just kind of, this would be better if this was the darker one, but you can just kind of follow the shape along and have it be kind of abstract-y like we did here a little bit. This was ink smooshing, but you can do it with your brush as well. You don't have to, so you can kind of create lines and then come in with another color. So kind of pulling together these ones that we did. Oh no, I lost. Oh, Emery's sitting on it. So kind of like this one, if we had put a different color on a different focus, so, like the flower, one flower was red, one was purple, one was that, and just did like the abstract-y piece to it, then you have a really cool idea. So kind of like that. So I'm starting, it's hard to see because it's that grayscale one, but starting with that and then coming in, and maybe this one is purple, maybe this one is red, maybe the leaves are orange, yellow, if you want to do a rainbow, and make it go outside the lines, make it abstracty, as I call it, a real official name for that, the abstracty. All right, we were going to put a little bit of golds, some gold. So let's move this out of the way, and we have to get the ever famous puppy pad. If it's here, it may not be here, so we may, oh, it's right next to me. My goodness, I tell you guys, I have everything right next to me today, but I can't find it. Do you guys have that? The more organized you are, the less you can find, because that is seriously my story today. All right. Now this one, remember, this one is just regular like Nina or white cardstock, but it didn't do too bad. I'm super impressed. That was a lot of water. Hi, Kat. That was a lot of water and it took it. So very impressed with that. All right, so let's get some of the golds. Let's go golds, baby. Golds, baby, golds. Now, should we add golds to each of them? Just the rainbow one, or just, oh, that's not for you, or just the abstracty one, we'll call it, or do we want gold on everything? What do we think? Okay, get your toes out. Thank you. Not you guys. And then look at this one. Look how pretty that's going to be. Oh my gosh. That's going to be so pretty. So pretty. All right. So should we do it on all of them? What's the vote out there, my loves? The vote. I have an absolutely. So I'm thinking that that's on gold on everything. I'm just waiting for one more opinion and we will go. So yes, sorry, Roxy. Another. Okay, never too much gold. Another right hand turn. With me, it should always the red one on this one, the rainbowy one. Now, again, alt new, I've shown you watercoloring with these, with stencils and such. They have a lot of the colors too in these amazing sprays, everything. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So now, if it's not dry, it may spread out a little bit, like if you had put down a splotch. But I think these are dry because I have my fan on because it's pretty hot here today. Now, if it bubbles, if you get little bubbles, just let them dry. They'll do their own thing. You don't have to worry about, because mine are kind of foamy because I'm throwing them out of the jar. So you can see they're a little bit foamy. They almost look dimensional, but they'll dry flat. And don't stick your finger in them like I just did. Okay. And generally, my gold one, I probably shouldn't say this, but it's going to come back to bite me. My gold one is good about not throwing up on my projects. It does a pretty good job. Normally, if I use my black or silver or white, I keep the nozzle off the paper. So when I splatter from a distance with a cat trying to attack the nozzle. How do you guys splatter? Do you splatter with a cat trying to attack the nozzle too? Now, another fun thing we have 2 minutes. Another fun thing you could do on this one, let's put down the cat again. Nope, that's the wrong color. We have like mountain mist in the spray as well. So you could spray some mountain mist. There's actually mountain mist, lagoon, and emerald in these sprays. You could splatter over where we use the ink pad colors. So you could do that. And then this one too, I don't know what we're going to do with this one. This will be a card at some point. But this, my antique, I had to buy another antique gold. I got so close to the end, I was terrified. So this might end up being a mixed media piece with some embossing paste. I can kind of see it coming together. Oh, come on, big fella. I want this corner. There we go. So there we had, let's look at what we did today besides turn me blue. I've even up my arm, I'm blue. Okay, but that's okay. What a better color to be. It's a very beautiful color. So that's why I love my puppy pad. I just roll it up and fold it up and we're good to go. All right, so we have this one, which I think will look phenomenal with maybe a longer from the, this was just on my desk. I mean, you could put it just down here too, like the sending healing hugs, and we could leave it as a big card. I don't make those often enough. So we have that one. We have our beautiful rainbow that we did. And come out a little bit. Then we have our beautiful background that don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something fun. Oh, yes. Thank you for putting the red one in there, too. Thank you so much. And then we have our abstracty piece. And then we have our piece that we kind of tried. I did mess up a little because I wanted to show you, with the ink cubes versus everything. And we have our happy leaves that made me so happy today. And let's not forget, we have this one, too, that we did the ink on. I did not splatter that one. I forgot to splatter that one. But so this is all created from besides this, all created from the Alt New coloring book. So you don't have to just watercolor. But if you do watercolor, I hope you do. I really hope you do watercolor. Just give yourself time and forgive yourself errors, because there are going to be errors, but just go with them. Because sometimes you get really, really beautiful, beautiful mistakes. So remember that mistakes are not always bad. Sometimes you create something and you get something so gorgeous. You're like, I didn't mean to do that. The sad part is you likely can never do it again. So as happy accidents, as Avril called them earlier, sometimes you want to recreate your happy accident. You just can't. You're like, man, it was so pretty and it was so good when it happened. So if you guys create these cards, I would love to see them in the Alt New fan group, because we always love to see what you create, what you're inspired to do. It's always very exciting to see those from you guys. So until next time, so on Wednesday, it'll be on Instagram at 2 p.m. And Thursday, we'll be right back here at 3:30 with another person showing you another way to use all those beautiful supplies. So from all of us at Altenew, thank you so much for allowing us to help you craft your life. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye, everybody.